Hi, how's everybody doing? So, this is the last show for this year, anyway. Um, I know that the last couple of times we had done it outside, but I decided this time for this last show, it was just going to be the camera and me and you. So, we'll get started in just a little bit. If you see the camera shaking, it's because I'm nervous. There's not too much that I can do about that. But Um, if you want to drop some, hellos or whatever into the comment section so I know you're here, that would be great. Because this is the first time that I'm using YouTube. It's also the first time I'm using my new laptop, which has been known to have some issues. So if things get weird, don't worry about it. You'll still be able to hear the sound of my voice, hopefully. Um, but yeah, by all means, let me know you're out there. Ship me a hello, how you doing, something, anything. I'm down for it. Thank you, Paloma. Hey, girl, how you doing? We'll get started in 4 minutes. I'm going to give you guys a chance to kick your shoes off, get something to drink, um, alcoholic or non-alcoholic. I don't judge. Do what you need to do. And today is going to be a couple of songs. I think I'm up to a couple of songs. And probably my top 10, or close to my top 10, of the poems that I've been writing, most of them since the pandemic started. So, in the meantime, in between time, as they say, kick back. We'll get started in 3 minutes. And let's hope that this is all going to work out because, quite honestly, folks, I don't know. But we're going to pray on it. In the meantime, for those of you that I was not able to get to, Merry Christmas. I know I'm late, but hey. For those of you that I will not be able to get in touch with for whatever reason, I hope you have just the best new year possible this year, which has its limitations. But again, we're going to get through this. We're going to be all right through this. Mostly because I think we finally figured out we really don't have a choice. This is going to go on for a minute. But I know there are a couple of folks um, out there who have already gotten the vaccine, some frontline workers, a couple of other folks who dance in and out of my thread every now and again. So, as the song goes, hang on, help is on the way. When it's going to get here, that's another story, but help is on the way. Let's see. Where was I? Oh, so Merry Christmas, a little late. Happy New Year, a little early. If you have to be out, and there's no reason for you to be, but if for whatever reason you have to be out, please, please, please wear a mask. Please, please, please observe social distance because there are too many people getting sick. We still have too many people dying, and that is not acceptable by any scale in any way. So we've got about 1 more minute before we get started. And y'all do what you need to do. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to start with. Because, hey, a little spontaneity. Let's see. I do know that some folks were not able to, or that I didn't get the link out to some folks in time. If those of you who are watching, listening, doing whatever it is you're doing, can pop that link to anybody you think might be interested, that would be fantastic. And the hour of reckoning is upon us, or about to be. So let's see if I can make it through this first song. Good morning or evening, friends. Here's your friendly announcer. I have serious news to pass on to everybody. What I'm about to say could mean the world's disaster, could bring your joy and laughter to tears and pain. It's that love's in need of love today. Don't delay, send yours in right away. Hate's gone round, breaking many hearts. Stop it, please, before it's gone too far. Hey, yeah, oh. The force of evil plans to make you its possession, and it will if you let it destroy everybody. We all must take precautionary measures. If love and joy you treasure, then you'll hear me when I say that love's in need of love today. Don't delay, send yours in right away. Hey, it's going round, breaking many hearts. Stop it, please, before it's gone too far. You know who loves in need of love today. Don't delay, send yours in right away. Well, I see that Rebecca has joined us. Hey, Rebecca, how you doing, girl? We're going to go ahead and get started with the first poem. And as I say, most of these are poems that I've written during the pandemic. There may be one or two that are not. Um, hey, Betsy. I'm not going to give you titles because, in the immortal words of my new guru, Tabitha Brown, that's my business. So we'll just go ahead and get started. The butterflies begin their dance around too, sometimes earlier if the sun is out in full force. I have actually, unfortunately, spent time cataloging their habits instead of working. They do not seem to like the cloudy days. The hummingbirds defend flowers too small to capture my attention, make any difference. They are sun worshippers too, I guess. There's so little else to do and not to be done. There's plenty to be done. Finish edits, advertise workshops, try not to make today and all the others feel like prison. A feeble cliche when the bars are sunlight, music, and dust motes. I am trying to be sensible. The world outside is not safe for me right now. I am on the wrong side of the calendar for this, hobbled by a system that insists on attacking itself. I am bitterly resentful of losing autonomy, independence, days, hours, parts of my heart. And on very bad days, what passes as my sanity. I was never one to deal gracefully with being trapped. Small, confined spaces only fascinate me when I know there's a way out. There is not even a hint of a possibility of light at the end of this tunnel because we don't know where the tunnel is located. Supposed to finish out, we just want a way away from all this. I try focusing on my work. It's hard to write between fear and ennui, worrying that every sneeze or throat ache signals something worse. I am tired of the smell of antibacterial soap on my fingers and not seeing my friends. I swear to God. When this is over, I am hugging total strangers at the coffee bar. Smile when you give me change at the grocery. I will likely leap the counter and ravish you. Hold out a hand to help me through the door or off the plane. Damn the scandal. We are making out on Concourse C, right in front of the build your own burger stand. Dear God, how do people get through this? I am trying, working, praying, being sensible, trying not to use my craft as crutch. That is not its function. I should be ashamed to even think that way. The theory is that you meet the challenge and take the change out in bad dreams. My dreams are about all the things I miss the most. Meet, men, people I can't get to or go see. I am trying to not indulge in self-pity. I am struggling not to be maudlin. Too many bird and butterfly garden days are not good for me. They make it too seductive to not get my work done, but reality is full of fiercely hard edges and broken glass teas with cyanide. I struggle to keep the taste of poison out of my mouth, my heart, my words. I am spared the journalist mandate. I am a poet and responsible for no truth but my own. It's a more difficult trick than one might imagine right now. I am trying to maintain some sort of balance. I am trying to stick to necessary stories and illuminations, circumstances and misdeeds and heroines and honor and courage and payback, dirty tricks, big deceptions and small victories. My world is off course, and that is when I am called to be the most productive. But I cannot write about Brianna because even to think her name is an explosion in my brain and heart and spirit. And I need to be quiet in those places now so that my soul can heal from some of the battles I have bled for the last 3 years. Recover from some, just some, of the pain visited on my naivete. The small excitements are beginning to wear my patience. I must be healing then, because I want to rise from my dreams screaming in triumph. I want to run, singing. It was a work day. I remember that. Daddy moved a little fast to beat the yellow to red, and lights started flashing about 30 seconds later. A motorcycle cop with his hand near his gun leaned in the window and demanded a license, lectured my father like he was a child, spoke to my daddy in a way I had never heard any man address my father. My Bronze Star, Purple Heart's father, my highly respected churchman, deeply admired Dapper Dan, wicked smart father. Alone, I know he would have hurt that white boy's feelings. but his daughter was in the car. And my father protected his girls at all costs. Daddy said, "Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir," and bent his head. I don't think I had ever wanted to kill somebody until then. I absolutely wanted to spill blood right then. But my father was in the car. And I protected my father at all costs. So we both swallowed sick and angry. Turned on the radio. Turned it up. Neither one of us said anything. About 20 minutes later, Daddy looked out the window and said, "Normally I would have, but with you here, I know, Daddy. I know." And we went on to other things. I have damned that cop 1,000,000 times for thinking he could make my father less than. I will love my father till long after I'm dead for trusting me to see just how much he loved me. So, we've had some more folks join us. Richard, hi, how you doing? And anybody else who wants to join in, chime in, now would be the time. As I say, let me know you're out there. Let me know how y'all are feeling, how you're doing. We're going to keep going on with the poetry. I may not make it all the way through my top 10, but we're going to give it a really, really good shot. So let's go on to a poem that I dedicated to a sister girl of mine, Red Medusa, a sister poet who lives in England. My not so dear sirs, on behalf of sisters everywhere, I am reclaiming the word angry, because we are not supposed to be that thing. Never mind what happens to us. Never mind the insults thrown into our faces on every level, every day. In the name of sisters everywhere, I want to reclaim the word strong, not used as it is now, not used as a weaponizing force to undermine our vulnerability, simply an acknowledgement that we can kill you 14 different ways with our tears, or bent backs, or open thighs. Yes, we will still be patient and long-suffering, just only in the way that you are patient and long-suffering when you are studying the enemy and ready to spill blood before nightfall, before dawn. Because we're supposed to be quiet and patient and strong. We are not supposed to be angry when you rape us, betray us, murder our children, cheat us in finance and government. You tell us, expect us to lick your tears and be glad of the water. Every sister on this planet has done time at the altar of white male privilege. Every sister on this planet has done time trying to hold her head up while burying her heart in the dirt for having it turned to shreds and buried for her. We are reclaiming it all. We are using the words as they are meant to be used, which means that we are through listening. We are over conversation, past the indignity of letting other people define, legislate, social moray, condition us into any truth but the one real truth. In the name of every sister in this place, on this planet, in the name of every sister who has been forced to breathe deep and smile, to keep her children, her job, her man, her soul intact, I hereby reclaim our voices, reclaim our space, claim, encourage, ride in bold on our anger, my not so dear sirs. We are through with your trifles, arguments, broken vows, and views. Step back, sit down, and keep quiet. I hereby reclaim our time. So, having dropped that little bit of fire, I say we keep going. What do you think? There was no running to sterilize, isolate, wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands when the AIDS virus swept through Africa and threatened to decimate an entire people. Where was all this concern for cleanliness when the Cohen family flooded the ghetto with opioids, because that didn't become important until white folks were affected? And then it became a crisis of mass proportions. You think DARE and Just Say No would have been in effect had it been just Freddie who was dead? Nah. Chad and Muffy had to shoot, pop, sniff before it got to be an issue. Let me tell you what. If this COVID only affected Black and brown people, you wouldn't be hearing anything about it except for a whisper of, you see what those people bring in when you let them in. A handful of nauseatingly woke celebrities might throw us a telethon or cut a song you can play over and over again on Spotify. If this COVID only affected white folks, there would have been a cure in the first 2 weeks. As it is, where do you think the trailers for vaccine volunteers are popping up? Well, where do you traditionally find guinea pigs? On a wheel, in a cage, brutling happily through shit in the shavings, and only occasionally biting the hand that feeds them. One of my friends posted, "Wash your hands like you're shaking hands with the president." Girl, please. First of all, I do not acknowledge fantasy. We don't have one of those right now. If I ever did have to touch hand with a jackal currently in power, I would require a full body bleach scrub and ritual burning afterward. They don't make Clorox that strong or fire that hot. The hypocrisy of this mandate for cleanliness and care chokes me so hard there should be fingerprints on my vocal cords. 44 million dead worldwide as of right now, 230,000 and more here in the US as of right now. How hard is this to understand? We are dying due to me first, me only, not my problem, because my grandmother is fine and my baby did not die last week. But somebody's did. Somebody's grandma died. Somebody lost their baby. How does that not hurt you? How does that not threaten to break your faith? I still have mine. My faith. But I have quarantined for the last 9 months in recognition of the fact that this is not just my problem. Imprisoned by the fact that because I am Black or brown or poor, because I'm not important enough, not Republican enough, can't make enough money for you enough for you to wear a mask and wash your hands, it hasn't affected you. It's just a cause to complain, whine about inconvenience, whine about a liberty and rights that, by the way, are not being threatened. We're just not important enough. We're just not important enough for you to wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. Unless you're washing them of our lives. The poems that I'm reading today are scheduled. I'll be writing the very last one, and there's a reason for this, at midnight on March the 15th, because that's when all hell broke loose. So this collection of pandemic poems is actually called Lovely and Suffering, and I'll be creating the last piece, said a minute before midnight. on March the 15th, and then I will, hopefully, be turning it into an ebook that will be available for sale a little bit later on that month, probably by the end of March. The collection that I've been talking about to all of you for years and years and years, well, for a year at least, that's called Follow Me on This. We're on the last edit, and then I'll go ahead and drop that one. That'll be available probably February. Or maybe I'll drop them both at the same time. Y'all know how capricious I am. We'll have to, see how that works out. The next poem and one of the last poems, I didn't think I'd make it to 10, but, one gives it one's best shot. Mostly I'm reading you the ones that I love the most. And so there are 2 left. Thanks to everybody who's tuning in. If you, would like to contribute to my flow and my journey, you can go to paypal.me/Saint Winter or to $Saint Winter on Cash App. And that information is in all of the advertising that I did for this performance. So if you don't get it right now, you'll, be able to get it later. But I'm going to go ahead and do the second to last poem because time is ticking here, and I know y'all have, holiday prep to get through. I'm not going to hold you up. This one I will give you the title of because this is probably the most important thing that I have written. Not just this year, but in the past 5 years. 27 erased by 8 equals blood on Daniel Cameron's hands. 27 erased by 8 equals no more dreaming and still no justice, even now. 27 erased by 8 only equals more struggle and rest in power, and I know that mother's tears falling century down century did not keep you safe. I am sorry that our soft voices and white-gloved hands and choir singing were not enough to keep you safe. Sorry that trying to fit into this tapestry, sacrificing to fit into this supposedly sweet and welcoming tapestry was not enough. Our not being angry was not enough to keep you breathing. And I don't know what you had planned for your birthday. But I do know that you were a woman, not a symbol. I know that sometimes you must have fussed with your hair, fussed at your man, fussed about your job, got loud with your girls, got out in the streets singing and swinging and blinging so you could forget about your day. Laid up in the bed some days, watching the rain, made love, made plans. I know that as a Black woman, there were some days you couldn't take it anymore. Felt like you couldn't see one more horror, but you stayed in the game. Went back the next day, did your job. There were days when you just got tired of being a Black woman because that's what Black women do. That's what and who we are. We did everything we were supposed to. We trusted and prayed and held our heads up and made way out of nowhere. We took it. We worked with it. We held on, held it down, did the work, held it down, held it together, held on and on and on while this country, this place did every wicked thing it could to tear us apart. We did everything we could. We used every way we know, every day and every night, living the way we are supposed to live to save our children, and it's still wasn't enough. Our holding it down, fighting the system, setting streets on fire, soft words, bowed heads, white gloves, swallowed humiliations and word and tears and songs and suffering wasn't enough. The way we have been told we need to live to save our children. The way we have been told we need to live our entire lives wasn't enough. You were still not safe. We tried everything. You died anyway. Right now, you are on your way to becoming an icon. Your name will go down as a martyr to the cause. I am truly sorry for that, because no one deserves such a hellish honor. 27, erased by 8 should not equal political expedience, cover-ups, lies, does not justify or explain the dirt they tried to bury you with. 27, erased by 8, and wrong, and a mother that will never sleep again because her baby sleeps too young and forever. Why? You are our daughter, our auntie, our little sister. No, not our mother. Never anyone's mother. We tried everything. You died anyway. 27, erased by 8, and wrong, and a mother that will never sleep again because her baby sleeps too young and forever. Why? For what? All she wanted, all anyone ever wants, is to be human, flawed and free and human, flawed and alive and free to be human. One more poem, one very, very quick little song to kind of sing us out, because I did not sing any Christmas songs this year, and so I figure I'm offered it. I'm due at least one. So one very, very quick little Christmas song to sing us out, and then my last poem. Noble sapin, roi du forêt, tu brave la natura, quand dès l'automne, comme un regret, les bois pendant tout leur attrait, toi, beau sapin, roi du forêt, tu gardes ta Vedura. As I say, just because I felt like it and just because I didn't get a chance to. One last poem. This is looking like being the star or one of the stars of the collection Lovely and Suffering. Y'all are going to be hearing this a lot because it's my favorite right now, and it's not going to go out of style anytime soon, particularly in light of the news that they're still out there. This one I will give you the title for. This is Karen, Your Mammy Done Left the Building, Part 2. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being back away slowly from the cookout, nobody needs to get hurt, and 10 being me offering physical violence to elders, as in I will slap your grandma and mine in the middle of Main Street at high noon for this. My irritation level is about 45 and rising. All this crying and pearl clutching got me in a non-conciliatory frame of mind. Miss me with that noise, please. Why is my pain only validated by your distress? When brown, black women cry for their babies, why is it necessary for white tears to validate the experience? Is it because we've done it so often that our tears are invisible? Don't count anymore? Why is conversation always at your behest? We've been wanting to talk for centuries now. Why are our lives suddenly worth taking notice? Because you finally decided to notice? Well, then, it must be important. Check it. One white woman got upset one morning, spilled her coffee, made national news, and changed legislation. We get up upset every morning, every hour of every day, spill all the tea, and get called gossips, abrasive, nasty, and non pleasing. I was raised up carefully, well born, and well bred, so the most I can say to that is you may personally kiss it here. Because F that is. Yeah, go on and laugh, but I have ancestors to answer to. Sorry, Grandma. Speaking for sisters everywhere, keep our names out of your mouths, because in case you hadn't got the memo, whatever you start, we are going to finish. Don't waste your tears on trying to impress us with your pain. We live where you only visit. And tourists, quite frankly, are not welcome. Sisters bleed, bond, and back each other up. Y'all want to eat the cake and not clean up the kitchen. Then get upset when your dainty selves catch hands or our ambitious dreams without stopping to drink at the river of your opinions. Some of y'all so weak can't even take a Becky between the eyes. Can't get hit with the truth without crying about your stress level. Keep self-importantly screaming, you're the one making it about race. Because it is. It always has been. You want to call me sister? Prove you fight like I do. That's right, you have to prove it. Don't want to see your pink cat hat or your notorious RBG t-shirt. Show me oppression turned into beauty marks like children with full bellies and laws that protect everybody. Show me relationships full of truth, not convenience. Show me your soul's tears hit the earth and birth renewable energies like gold and water and real love. You want me to call you sister? Listen to me. Stop using me. Celebrate who I am without making me use your mirror. Back me up, honor, and listen to my songs. Sing my songs too. Stop trying to be me when it suits or is fashionable. Just be real. Do you. Okay? And if that sounds like too much, let's put it this way. If after using my milk to suckle your children, after raising those children so they could sell or slave me and mine, after scrubbing your floors and your clothes so you could go to fundraisers where I got talked about as the problem, after being given the backseat in movements I bled out over, after moving ahead as an exemplar to my sisters, only to be judged by the standards by which the world celebrates everything you do or say or decide to be, if after all that you decide we're ungrateful or impatient or too angry, you know what? You may personally, unreservedly, kiss it right there. Cause F that is. Sorry, Grandma. So our time is up. We went a little bit over, but that's okay. I don't know about y'all, but I had an absolutely fantastic time. Hope you did too. Elizabeth Morrow, Betsy honey, thank you so much. Betsy has posted the links for donation. If you would like to, that would be fantastic. If you can't, no worries, because it's just been that kind of year for everybody. Thoughts and prayers count too. Again, if you have to go out for New Year's for whatever reason, please be very, very careful. Please wear that mask. Please stay 6 feet away from, whoever it is you're in contact with or coming into contact with. This is, as somebody said and keeps saying, this is a marathon, not a sprint. And I know it's been rough on all of you, but thank you so much for hanging in with me and for me this year. I could not love you more. And as I say at the end of these, and had hoped to stop saying by this time, in this place, under these circumstances, I hope never to see any of you all again. I love you all. Have a fantastic new year. Bye.